Join us as we flash into the Middle Ages in this Friday's own field trip.
Welcome, all ye lords and ladies. The Friday Zone Field Crew discovered that to be a part of the Golden Ages, you didn't have to be born the 16th century. We visited the Fishers Renaissance Faire to see that people of all ages could enjoy being a part of Queen Elizabeth I's kingdom. We spoke to the Queen, aka Susie Alexander, to ask why she enjoys participating in the fair.
I've always enjoyed history, even as a child, and we do not have kings and queens in America, but they do have one over there in the mother country, if you will. So I've always been interested in telling stories and acting and such, so this seemed a perfect fit.
Adam Fivish explained some of the wonderful activities and performances they have at the fair.
Oh, there is a ton of shows here today. Of course, the big thing is the joust. It's full contact joust with the Knights of Valor. We have Molotov the Gypsy, who does an act with breathing fire, and we've got horseback riding for those who are interested in that by the horses that are doing the joust. And of course, there's the cast. We have 160 cast members, and there's so much more.
There are over 250 costume characters demonstrating everything from dances, music, and armed combat. And we quickly learned that these activities, they're a great learning experience. We started to wonder, how did they recreate these activities that were hundreds of years old? Toby Beck told us the answer.
So all the things that they have to do, they have to research first to find out how to do them. Many things in the Middle Ages were taught word of mouth by one master to a student, and a lot is taught that way here. But the way to advance learning something is to do research on yourself. There's no better way to teach than to experience. So one of the things they do is, if you want to learn to sew, let's make things. You want to learn to do calligraphy? Let's have you make scrolls. You want to learn to fight? Get out and fight.
And there were a lot of fight demonstrations to see. The clash of the weapons against the stainless steel armor gave us a real thrill. And through demonstrations, we saw what it must have been like for a knight to battle in the Middle Ages. The best representation of that was the joust. We spoke to James Acuff to find out more.
I'm here in conjunction with the Knights of Valor, putting on a full contact heavy armor joust. That involves near 2,000-pound war horses, 11-foot long solid wood lances, the armor you see, and a heart as big as all outdoors to be willing to do something like this.
Like James said, it takes a big heart to participate in this sport. We learned that lesson as we witnessed the biggest hit of the day. The night was all right, but remember, this is not to be tried at home. James and his team are trained professionals and thoroughly researched this sport before ever testing it. Research went into every part of this event to recreate the experience for the people who attended. From peasants to nobility and even the Queen's court, the clothes they wore, the food they ate, and the games they played were all found out by reading books about the time period. Then, with that knowledge, this group put it into practice.
It's a fun way to learn something. I mean, really. Who wouldn't want to do that? So, why not?
You can visit the Fishers Renaissance Faire website to find out more about the event and other participating organizations. This Renaissance Fair and others like it around the country are great ways to experience this time period. But remember, viewers, if you can't get to an event like this, just reading a book about this time period and doing research on your own can be your way to flash into the past.